So guys, yesterday we talked about new product development, reasons, and then we talked about, that how new products are developed, what is the process, and what are the different stages. Today we'll talk about product life cycle. Then another topic which we are going to cover after product life cycle is the measures. What are the different measures to extend product life cycle? Can product life cycle be extended, or if it has a life, then it cannot be extended? So we'll see whether it can be extended or not, and if extended, then how or what are the measures which companies can take to extend the product life cycle. Then if time will permit us, we will talk about the product mix also, so wherein we will be talking about product length, product width, depth, and consistency. So let's start with the first topic, which is product life cycle. Sure, you must be aware what product life cycle is. Whatever has started today, or maybe yesterday, or maybe in the past, whatever has started will end for sure, be it a human life, be it non living thing, be it anything. Same way the products also have life. They are also they have a life cycle which is known as product life cycle. So whatever has started will surely end, be it human life or be it anything else. Same way products also have a life cycle. So that is what is called as product life cycle. And now, before going ahead with the product life cycle, we should understand why product life cycle is important for a company to understand. What is its importance? Is it important, or we are just studying for the sake of studying it, that yes, there is a product and it has a life? So why it is important? Before going ahead with product life cycle, let's talk about why it is important for a marketer. So as a marketer, you have to take many decisions for your product. Decisions and strategies will never remain same. They would be different in the different stages of a product. When a product is launched, your marketing mix would be entirely different. When a product will move from introduction to growth, the marketing strategies or marketing mix will again change. And it will go on till the fifth stage, which is withdrawal. So it starts with introduction, then it moves to growth, then it moves to maturity, and after maturity it moves to decline. I think you must have studied four stages, or maybe must have seen four stages in the books, but there are five, not four. The fifth one is withdrawal. So for example, there are various products which you can see. So they were earlier there, but today they are not there. Are you using the cassettes to listen to the audio music? No, you are not. What you are using? You are using either MP3s or directly listening the music through apps. So we used to, listen music with the cassettes. There were used to be gramophones. But do gramophones exist today? No. As an antique piece, you can always keep that. That's a different story. But if you say gramophone as a product is selling today in the market, is not true. So we started from gramophone, then cassettes. I think if I talk about my generation, when we were in colleges, we used to give gifts of assorted cassettes, wherein we used to have mix of music. So we used to get blank tapes from the market, and then we used to get them assorted through the tape recorder, and then we used to play our music. But today you are not using that product. Even that is not existing. Can you see in the market today the cassette players? Even the companies are not manufacturing that. Do you see audio cassettes? No. So this is what is product life cycle. Even what you are doing today, there is a big transition. You are using apps, you are using Spotify, you are using Ghana, you are using maybe Wink or whatsoever you are using. Even you are not using today MP3s. So we have seen transition. So if I talk about the ESD motorcycle, if I talk about Rajdut motorcycle, if I talk about Lambretta scooter, if I talk about Maruti 800, which you have seen, they all are not existing today in the market. We know that. The reason is that they are extinct from the market. They are in the withdrawal stage. And once the product moves to withdrawal, which is the fifth stage, the product does not exist in the market. Companies, retrench the production, and the product moves from decline to withdrawal. So let's start with the first, you know, uh, Let's start with the first stage, which is introduction. So when we talk about introduction means, by the way, in my notes you will get the graphical representation of the product life cycle. What kind of graphical representation we have. There is that curve is basically starts from the origin. So there is a x-axis and there is a y-axis, and the curve starts from the origin and it moves like it's a bell-shaped curve, kind of a bell-shaped curve, not completely bell, but half a bell-shaped curve. So you will see that in my notes, which you will get through the link which I'll send to Simran. So don't bother about it. So if I talk about the first stage, which is introduction. Introduction is the first stage. Means the as the name suggests, the product has been introduced by the company in the market. It has been launched by the company in the market. So there are various products which today we can see in the introduction stage. If I talk about the video conferencing facility, though it is not in the introduction stage, it is in the growth because of the time, because of the pressing need of time in the COVID-19 pandemic situation, not only in India but across the globe. So it is on growth. That is second stage. But if I talk about introduction, there may be some products which are in the introduction phase. So introduction means, again, it is not that product is new to the world. We talked about new product yesterday, but when we talk about product life cycle, it does not say, it does not mean that we are talking about this product is new to the world. It is new. It may be new to the company only. For example, you know when we talked yesterday about Maggie, soups. Maggie is a brand which is owned by Nestle, which is into noodles. But in order to fight with Knorr, they launched soups, and they picked up business because of their ready-made customer base. So when Maggie launched this soup, it was introduction of that soup by Maggie, but it was not a new product to the world or to the market or to the manufacturer or to the customer, but it was a new product to the company. So when we talk about product life cycle and when we talk about introduction, in introduction we are not talking about the product which is new to the world. It may be, but it is not must always, that we need to understand. So if a product is new, so in introduction, when I talk about marketing mix, obviously we talk about 4 P's or 7 P's. We'll talk about marketing mix tomorrow in detail, but you all know 4 P's, 7 P's: product, price, place, promotion. Then we have three more P's, which is extended for the services, wherein we talk about the people, process, and physical evidence. So today we are talking about product life cycle. So let's confine ourselves to product marketing mix, which is 4 P's: product, price, place, and promotion. So when I say introduction, during the introduction stage of a product, how obviously we cannot interact you all. I don't have control. I cannot unmute you people because it is through Microsoft Teams. So but I'll take the session as a lecture mode from my side. If you have any question, you can write in the chat box, which I will take later on once my talk would be over, because maybe the questions which are coming in your mind right now could be automatically answered once I will finish my talk. So when we talk about introduction, in introduction, the marketing mix, how the marketing mix would be, that we need to think as a marketing researcher or scholar or marketers or students. So when I talk about introduction, the marketing mix would be entirely different. The focus would be on what? Do you feel that focus would be on product? Do you feel that focus would be on price? Do you feel the focus would be on promotion or on place, or all of them altogether? If you see in general, though it depends on product to product, it depends on service to services, it depends on marketing environment, because all together makes a market volatile. So but in general, we can generalize it. In general, it is seen and it has been observed, and through the market research, it has been proved that in general, in introduction, the focus would be on two things. One, the focus would be on promotion, and second, the focus would be on place. For example, few companies, why companies fail, why products fail. Recently, you must have seen, last in yesterday's class also, I talked a bit about it. If you can recall, if you see why I said that it should be on or it must be on or it is on, the place and promotion. The reason is that company has already fixed the MRP because the product has been launched. So price would not be the focus. Price is focus only prior to the launch of the product. So price has already been fixed. MRP has already been fixed. Only the introductory offers would be given through the promotion, schemes, wherein people say that in introductory offers, buy one get one free, 30% off, so on and so forth. But price has already been fixed. Same way the product has already been manufactured. The product has already been made by the company in the new product development stage, which we have discussed yesterday. So product will also not be the focus. The focus would be on place and promotion, because now when you are introducing the product in the market, you need to make the customers aware that you have this product and they need this product, so that they can go in the market or maybe demand in the market for your product. So your focus as a marketer would be on promotion, number one, and place. Why place? Place means the market where you are selling the product. Place means the distribution channel through which you are reaching to your ultimate consumer. So when you are reaching to the ultimate consumer, when you are, uh, selling the product to the ultimate consumer, your distribution becomes very important. So I talked about it yesterday also. I when we were talking about new product development, so I talked about ghadi detergent powder, right? So ghadi detergent powder uh, trade up, traded up. So they were into the lower strata. They were very, they very well penetrated the rural market, and their presence is very good in rural market, and that is the product which is demanded very highly in, very extensively. In fact, very effective in rural market. But if you talk about the metropolitan cities, if you talk about the highest tetra, if you talk about the competing with, Surf Excel or Ariel kind of detergents, Ghadi has no name there. Ghadi had no name there earlier, right? So they traded up and they did what? They focused while launching the product. They focused on one thing, which is promotion. So they used, what they did celebrity endorsement. And who is the celebrity who is endorsing this product? Amitabh Bachchan, the most popular and uh, widely accepted actor. So even a old man of 80 years in rural area knows the face of Amitabh Bachchan. He may not be knowing Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan, so on and so forth, but he is aware of Amitabh Bachchan face. So company used Amitabh Bachchan as a celebrity endorsement, for celebrity endorsement, as a brand ambassador. And then company, promoted the product well, obviously. And people started thinking, because Amitabh Bachchan is promoting, so it must be, a good product now. It must be improved ghadi detergent, which can compete with Surf Excel and Ariel maybe. So, people started demanding that product in the market. But what happened? In the beginning, they were not able to provide the supply. When people demanded in the market, the supplies were not there. So their distribution was not that effective. So again, what happened? People shifted back to their own, brand or own detergent which they were using, and a big customer base Ghadi lost in the very beginning. So now it is available in the market. Now the product is what again? If you talk about the distribution, again as an individual, I'm not satisfied with the distribution of Ghadi detergent, which is the traded up product, the upgraded version of Ghadi detergent. So what I'm trying to tell you is that in the beginning, when product is being launched by the company, it becomes very pertinent, very important, relevant for the company to focus on two things. One, the promotion, and second, the place, so that the product can be sold can be made available to the customers. Now, when we move from introduction to growth, in growth, uh, what happens when company's product move from introduction to growth? The focus shifts. It means when I say the focus shift, it does not mean that in introduction we will be focusing only on two things. More focus would be on those two things, which are promotion and place, but it does not mean that product will not be taken care of. The quality of the product would be deteriorated. The price would be, it would be made expensive. No, but the focus means that two things would be focused in introduction. Now come to growth. So the product moves from introduction to growth now. So where is the focus? Should company focus on what? The should company do promotion? Should company focus on place? Should company focus on price? Should company focus on product? What? So again, the product will remain same. You cannot change the quality of the product. The price will not be increased. Companies don't increase MRPs very soon. You have seen though companies keep on changing the promotional offers, keep on changing the discount schemes, but the MRP remains same for a very longer period. Maggie noodle, they sold Maggie in 10 rupees for decades. After a particular period of time, after 2 3 decades, they changed the price. Otherwise it was sold for 10 rupees, though the price of maida, which is the prime ingredient, price of salt increased, but again they did not change the price. They kept on reducing the weight of Maggie. They made the noodles thin or thinner than earlier, but they did not increase the price. So what I'm trying to tell you here by giving the example of Maggie is that companies don't change MRPs very fast, because it has an impact on the image of company. So what companies basically do? Companies don't change the price, don't change the product. Companies in growth focus on promotion, and again in you know place when they are in growth. So their focus remains on promotion and product. So but one thing, the focus bit shifts towards product also. Product means that now they need to provide the supply of the product because it is demanded, it is in growth. So companies need to make the products available. That's the important thing. So companies' production will become faster. Their lead time will be reduced, so on and so forth. So the focus would be on two things: product promotion and place in growth. Then product moves from growth to maturity. Maturity means where the curve of sales become stagnant. So it became stagnant in the market now. So when it becomes stagnant in the market, you know the sales reach to its peak. Now the sales of this particular product has reached to its peak. No more growth further will take place. So once it reaches to the peak, it stays there for a particular period of time. Then it moves to decline. So in maturity, what companies do, where companies focus? Do companies focus on product, price, place, or promotion? So the answer is that they don't focus on promotion, because now they know that any expense in the promotion will not lead to the increase in the sales. So they don't put much investment into promotion. Their budgets of promotion are not increased, rather their budgets are decreased now, because it has reached to the peak and further it will not increase. So idea is to maintain that volume of sales somewhere, you know maintain that volume of sales by companies. So what companies do for that, we'll talk about it later when we will talking about the measures to extend the product life cycle. So when I said, the product has moved into maturity and the curve is almost flat and the sales or revenue has reached to the peak. So now what we need to do as a company, or what companies do. Companies focus on what? They don't focus on promotion, they don't focus on place, because they have already established the distribution channel in the markets. They are selling it for over a period of time, and they have already promoted it well in the market. So people are aware about the product, and no further increase in the budget of promotion will make any difference to the sales. So promotion is also not a focus. Then comes what? Two things: product and price. These are the two things which our company focuses at when companies take care of product in a maturity stage. So it means when product moves into maturity, companies focus on two things. One, the product, and second, the price. So for example, product means what? Product means they change they do innovation in the product. They add features, they add some kind of service, they add some kind of benefits, some kind of guarantee, warranty. They provide discounts, they reduces the price, they provide different kind of offers, advantages to the customer, so on and so forth. For example, when companies see that their product has moved to maturity, like Maruti 800, the product which has given maximum sales, maximum profit to Maruti Suzuki in India over a period of time. That is the brand or car which has given the maximum profitability and longest product life cycle it had with the Maruti company. So now in Maruti 800, what companies did? Initially, Maruti 800 launched in the Japanese model. Then slowly, gradually, Indianized version of Maruti was launched. Then when Maruti, after a certain period of time, entered into maturity, whenever Maruti used to enter in maturity, companies, the Maruti Suzuki used to innovate the product. So they started like changing the shape a bit. Then they started providing, better engine. Then they started providing air condition to Maruti cars. Initially, air condition was only in Japanese model, and Indianized model air condition was not there. Then they changed the wheel size. Then they changed the steering wheel. Then they changed the leg space. Then they changed the seat comfort and design. Then they changed the dashboard. Then they changed the bumpers, same color bumpers. They started giving colored bumpers. Then they changed the mirrors, colored mirrors, so on and so forth. So they kept on changing the product, and there were more than 100 changes in the product, and every time they were able to sustain their product in the market because of these changes only. And this is not only with Maruti or Maruti 800, this is true with all the car manufacturing companies. You see, Fortuner by Toyota. Fortuner was doing good in market, but the moment Fortuner entered into maturity, the old model was discontinued by the company, and new model of Fortuner is being launched with the same name. So it is not introduction of the product. It is again launching a new variant of the same product, which means it extended the product life cycle, which means that you are able to sustain that product for a longer period. So in maturity, you re-enter into growth. So you shift from maturity to growth. So this is one of the strategy, that you change the product, you make innovations in the product, and then you re-enter into growth. You again see the sales volume of Fortuner by Toyota, which was into maturity and entered into growth. And same happens with all the companies. So not only automobile companies, but for all sorts of product, it happens when it reaches to maturity. Companies focus shifts from everything to product and then price. So companies reduce the price also when they see that further innovations are not possible, and we have to extinct, or we have to stop the production of this product, but at least get the maximum profitability. So companies reduce price and thereby they increase sales and they sustain in maturity for a longer period. For example, you know, there was a car by Hyundai, Hyundai Ascent. I also had that car at one point of time. Very, you know, very powerful car, very, good pickup. Looks were stunning that time, so on and so forth. So, one of my friend, he bought that same car in 1996, I think, or 97. So that time that car was, launched in the market. It was by Hyundai. And then the price of the car was somewhere around, 8 lakh rupees. And my friend bought in 8 lakh 80,000 rupees at that time, that car. And 8 lakh 80,000 rupees, he has given 80,000 rupees extra, which is black, to get that car faster. Not to, he did not want to wait for 3, 4 months. So he wasn't paying capacity. He was a businessman and he paid 80,000 extra to get the car faster. So he bought that car in 8 lakh 80,000 rupees. And the last price of this car by Hyundai was 5 lakh 30,000 rupees, at which they sold this car, few years back. So company reduce the price so that they can increase the sales. Companies reduce the price up to that extent till they don't, become unprofitable. When they start feeling that the volume is low and we will not be able to get profit now, they stop the, production of that particular product and slowly, gradually, they retrench. So product moves from growth to from maturity to decline, and then slowly, gradually, or maybe faster, depends on product to product, it moves to withdrawal. So so in maturity, the company would be focusing on two things. One is the product, second is the price. Then comes the, fourth stage, which is decline. In decline, obviously, the company knows that further any effort will not make any change in the, product or in the stage of the product. So what companies, do, companies start retrenching the, production of that particular product. Retrenching means that company further will not make that product. In fact, company will withdraw the product from fewer markets where the numbers were less, and only sell the product into those markets where the numbers are good enough to give them some profitability. And after a certain period, maybe shorter, longer, depends on product to product, depends on marketing environment, so on and so forth. So after some time, the product will move to withdrawal. So in decline, the company will focus on nothing. Neither there would be any change in the product, nor there would be any change in the price. No promotion at all will be made for that product, and place would be retrenched. It means there would not be increase in the markets. In fact, the markets would be reduced. So the focus would be only on place in terms of retrenching it, taking back the products from the markets where it is not selling in much quantity, and only selling into those markets which is giving some good numbers up to the level of, maybe profits. Then once the company will start, stop getting the profits or numbers further, company will stop the production, and product will move into withdrawal slowly, gradually. Withdrawal means the product does not exist in the market and it is not available, for purchase in the market. So this is how the product moves from introduction to growth to maturity to decline and finally to withdrawal. This is how products, grow. Then if we talk about, the examples, of the product. So for example, today we talk about the introduction. Introduction would be, the, if we talk about, the uh, the coronavirus vaccine would be the introductory product in the pharmaceutical industry, would be the product which would be introduced. Obviously, pharmaceutical industry is that industry, which I mean, which has a different, marketing gimmicks. That I'm not supposed to discuss here because I think that would not be appropriate to discuss at this forum. But that would be an introductory product. You can take the example of that product. There may be, different products. For example, soon we are going to get the, artificial intelligence products, which we are receiving today also. So they are an introduction. So the robotics, the artificial intelligence, the products which has got machine learning, the smart intelligent products, they all are introduction stage. So soon you will, receive the, you know, these products would be flooded in the market very soon, maybe in next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, and it would be very easily available to the common man in next 5 7 years. And the price also would not be, that expensive that common people would not be able to afford it. A lot of companies are investing heavily into artificial intelligence, machine learning, virtual learning, so on and so forth, robotics. So soon we will, see these products in the market as a flood, and after 5 or 7 years, maybe would be available to all of us. So it is in the introduction stage. These products are introduction stage, and if we talk about growth, the way we are communicating today is in the growth phase. Means the online conferencing, not seminars but webinars. You know, this is, in the growth. If you see, there is a complete paradigm change. If you see, I think I have talked about it in one of your classes. I can recall. I think I had a word. I had talked about it in one of your classes. That there is a big paradigm shift. If you see, though today it is because of coronavirus from last 2 months approximately, we are facing this problem, and we are into lockdown from last 40 days or so on. So, but before that, even if you see, if you try to see the if you see the trend, you will be able to realize it that this paradigm shift was not due to COVID. COVID will boost it, that's for sure. But this paradigm shift was earlier also. IP University was not able to fill their seats in 2019-20. Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Dwarka, which is a Delhi government state, managed university, state university. They were not able to fill the admissions, though every year they used to get, I mean, like there used to be the flood of students to get admission. People used to pay, huge amount to the private institutions as management fees to get admission into management quota. Maybe some of you must be aware. So, if anyone in your known tools have, taken admission or has taken admission, so what is the point I'm trying to make you is that there is a big paradigm shift. You see, the idea was why IP University was not able to get, because they adopted the centralized, entrance examinations, because of which there were less candidates who, applied for IP University. So that's a different story. But idea is that there is a shortfall of students for institutions, for universities, for, the colleges, for the centers, coaching centers, but there is no shortfall in online courses. You go to Coursera, you go to Khan Academy, you go to any web portal which is providing you the online courses, go to Byju's. So there is a big paradigm shift. Institutions are not getting fetching students, but online courses are on the rise. The restaurants are not getting footfall, but Swiggy, Zomato of the world are rising. The like, if you see, everything is transforming, so people are moving from offline to online, and there is a big paradigm shift. There is a shift from television to web series. People are watching less television but more web series. So there's a complete paradigm shift, if you can understand that. And this paradigm shift has led us to many changes in our marketing gimmicks, in our marketing, strategies. Companies are forced to change their marketing strategies. So the idea is, what I'm trying to tell you. The idea is that when we talk about the where we were, it happens, with me when I go with flow. So you all know that it happens with me. I think we were talking about the product life cycle withdrawal, and then we talked about that there is a paradigm shift, that people are shifting from offline to online. So uh, idea is that product moves from one stage to another, and as the product moves from one stage to another, the companies need to change their marketing mix strategies. So we can see that there is a rise on rise for online platforms, for communication, for web conferencing, so on and so forth. Because of this scenario, we are locked down in. So, it is taken as growth. So all the AI, so all the machine learning, all the virtual products, all the, teleconferencing and so on and so forth are in growth phase. So if we take example of maturity, there are products which are into maturity. For example, even slowly, gradually, the newspaper industry, is moving into maturity. People have, changed. Again, it is again an example of paradigm shift. You read on, online platforms of these, companies. Now, every newspaper, company is into the business of, what you call this, short news or online version of news. So like you have InShort, you have Mint, you have HT, app, you have ET app, you have Times of India app, so on and so forth. So again, there is a rise. So if you take these apps, they are on growth. If you take newspapers, they are into maturity. Their sales will not increase further, but they would be able to maintain for a longer period. Because I told you, it cannot be generalized that what is the life of maturity stage. There is no specific time which can be given to the product. It depends on product to product. So newspaper will stay for a longer period, though they have reached to maturity. There are many examples which you can take that they have reached in the maturity. So just a minute, guys. Just a minute, please. Thanks for bearing with me. So we were talking about the different stages. So maturity. Thank you. So the maturity, when we talk about there are various products which are into maturity, like television has moved into maturity. There is no further growth in this. Television. I mean, like as an equipment, television has no further growth. So PCs are in fact into decline. So if we talk about decline, personal computers are on the verge of decline. Laptops are, somewhere in maturity, but again, they will stay for a longer period, right? But PC is in decline mode. There, people are not buying PCs today, so on and so forth. And then withdrawal, you have many products which I named in the beginning. They have entered into withdrawal. So far we have talked about, what is product life cycle, why it is important for marketers to understand their product life cycle, and what are the different stages of product life cycle, and how different strategies of marketing changes or marketing mix changes when product moves from one stage to another. So these four things we have talked about so far. Then we have, now we have the uh, measures we will discuss. We will talk about measures to which companies take to extend the product life cycle. So there are various measures which companies take to extend the product life cycle. Just give me a minute. Can I have a glass of water? Thanks to bear with me. In case if you have any queries, any doubts so far, whatever we have discussed today, You can write in the chat box. Thank you. So, sorry. So there are different measures which a company can take to extend the product life cycle. So when we talk about measures which companies take, why companies take measures? Number one, that why I mean like if product has moved to maturity, why they should push, why they should not let it go into decline faster and bring new products. Why? This is the first question which comes in my mind as a marketing scholar. So when I say, why, the reason is, I mean, like, why companies should extend the product life cycle. That is the first question which should come in your mind. The reason is that, it is always cheaper to get profitability from the existing product than bringing new product and creating a market for it and then getting profit. A new product will have its own life cycle. A new product will take time starting from introduction to growth. So, if you are able to remain longer in the maturity phase, your sales would be, there, you would be getting profits. So, the idea is that how you can extend your product life cycle by extending, the time frame of maturity phase, or maybe doing something so that you will shift back from maturity to growth, or maybe from decline to maturity, or maybe maturity to growth. Most of the companies, when product move into maturity, start taking measures to extend the product life cycle, because I told you it is less expensive and more profitable than to introduce a new product and then get profit out of it. Ultimately, we have to bring new product also, because there is a diminishing marginal utility which you must have studied in economics in your first year. So diminishing marginal utility is something, because the people will not buy that product. Today you don't buy the old products, you buy new products, because consumers have a variety seeking behavior. We talked about it yesterday. So the idea is, but at least for a period for which like we can sustain the product in the market, we should put in efforts to get the profitability out of it. So first companies do what? First measure is, we have already talked about, that companies, you know, go for making the changes in the product. So they modify the product in a way that either they add some feature into it, make some more specifications, they change the design, they innovate something into it, so on and so forth. So innovations in the product is one thing which companies do in order to extend the product life cycle. Number one, it could be innovation related to design, it could be innovation related to your features, it could be innovation related to the benefits of that particular product, whatever. But it could be anything, but it is related with the physical part of product, more or less, when we talk about innovations in the product itself. Then second part is, second measure is, companies can reduce prices. When companies reduce prices, the lower strata try to upgrade. And when they upgrade, you get new customers, new clients, new consumers. When you get new consumers, your customer base increases, and you are able to maintain the sales. You are able to survive in the market, because there are new customers now who are upgrading from their purchasing power to from the existing product to the new product. So when prices are reduced, the new customers you know start buying that particular product, because there is always upgradation by the customers. You just think about yourself. The product which you are using today, were you using the same product 5 years back, or a lower I mean like Lower means I mean like a product which was less expensive than the product which you are using today. The brands which you are wearing today, were you wearing the same brands 4 years back, 5 years back, 3 years back? The answer you will find no. In most of the cases you will find no. You always upgrade your brands, you always upgrade your products, you always upgrade your you know like services, so on and so forth. So reduce the price. This is the second measure which companies adopt in order to increase or in order to maintain their sales during the maturity phase. And there, that is how they extend the product life cycle for a certainly for a longer period. So third measure could be that you give additional service to the consumers, some kind of service association with the product. So when I say service association with the product, what it means? Service association with the product means that, for example, Skoda. Skoda said that you know uh, pay buy in 2017, pay in 2019. Buy in 2018, pay in 2020. So what is this? This is basically a service, additional benefit which is given to the consumer, which is associated with the product. So that is how they were able to increase the sales. That is how they were able to push their product. They were able to survive in market for some period. Another example of automobile sector is your what do you call this? The company name I'm not able to recall. Chevrolet. Chevrolet said 3 years free warranty, free maintenance, free warranty. That 3 years free warranty, free service is what people used to get. I'm like terrified that if they will buy Chevrolet product, the spare parts would be expensive. The service of this car is expensive. So there were negative, emotions in the market that if you buy this car, you are going to face a lot of problem in terms of car servicing and spare parts, and it is very expensive. So people were not buying Chevrolet cars. Chevrolet came up with this idea or promotion campaign that we will give you 3 years free, warranty, 3 years free service. So neither we will charge you anything for service, nor you have to maintain your car for next 3 years. We are there. We will give you replacement of the product free of cost, so on and so forth. So that service which was associated with the product extended the product life cycle of that particular product, help companies to push that product in the market. So this is how companies try to extend the product life cycle. So provide some kind of attach some kind of service with the some kind of service with the product. Then third example could be that introduce the product in the least developed economy. When I say least developed economy, this is very interesting. So if your product is not selling in your own market, introduce it to least developed economy. The product which stop selling in metropolitan markets, companies launch the same product with some modifications in the rural market, and it sells like hot cake. The products which are not sold or demanded in the developed countries, it is easily demanded in developing countries. The products which are not in demand today in developing countries like India, those products are very much in demand in least developed countries or less developing countries. So the idea is that enter into the you know uh, least less developed economy. For example, we receive a lot of products from West Europe, which becomes obsolete there because they are technologically advanced than us. We are also, going ahead with technology. We are also, changing, adapting very fast. But again, they are faster than us. So ultimately, the product which gets obsolete there, they throw that product in, Asian markets, and those products, sell very well. Your EcuCheck which you buy, here in India today also, which was almost, I think 5 7 years back, it was launched in India, right? And it was a product which was obsolete in US market, and it was sold in India. And even today, companies are selling it, though the sales are reduced now, but still people are buying it. So the idea is that you throw the product into the less developed economy. You will, revive, you will extend your product life cycle. Same product will give you, more profit, so on and so forth. Then, we have another strategy is change the uses of the product. Change the uses of the product means, WhatsApp. WhatsApp, very, interesting example. WhatsApp never had video calling facility. It was made primarily only for, chatting, SMS, free of cost. The SMS we were charged for SMSs, and ultimately, those SMSs are vanished today. We don't do SMS. We do go for only WhatsApp. Then WhatsApp added one feature into it. They changed the way, the product was consumed. So they added one more advantage. Earlier in the initial WhatsApp version, we were not able to send any attachments, no PDFs, no Excel, no PPTs, no document, Word file, nothing, no images even. Only images were there. I think not since the beginning, but very, after just the introduction of the WhatsApp in very early stage, the images were added. Only images were there, but they changed it. And few years back only we started sending, the PDFs, started sending the Word files, Excel through WhatsApp. So they changed the way we were using WhatsApp. Then third dimension they added into their product is video conferencing, video calling, which was not there. So they added. So again, they extended the product life cycle. People are using WhatsApp for calls today. They are doing, all the, calls abroad. People are going on doing only through WhatsApp. So they extended their product life cycle. So these are the things which you need to do. These are part of innovations in the product, and because of innovations, you change the way it is consumed. So the idea is that obviously it is the innovation in the product itself, but how it is different from first point innovation in the product, and how I am discussing this same thing into the way the products are consumed. It means the changed uses. When the products have a different changed uses, you see that product are able to maintain their product life cycle, and they stays for a longer period in one particular phase, specifically in maturity and decline mode. Then, another strategy in order to survive product into maturity phase could be that you go for co-branding. You go for, branding with some other product, or make your product a complementary product with something else. For example, with Nokia phones, we used to get Airtel SIMs free of cost. So Airtel penetrated the market by giving free connections with Nokia phone. This is called co-branding. So you extend your product life cycle with co-branding. Many companies, go for it. So they help, complementary, supplementary products they give with each other, and then finally, at times accessories are given with the product in order to, make extend product life cycle. So there are different ways. So far we have talked about, 5-6 ways to extend the product life cycle. One is that, innovate the product, change the features of the product, specifically physical changes in the product. Then we secondly we talked about, the reduction in price. Then third we talked about the introducing the product to the less developed economy. Then fourth we talked about, adding some service, additional benefit to the customers. Fourth, we talked about, the warranty guarantee, which we can give to the customers. This is another way. I think we have not talked about guarantees and warranties. So guarantees and warranties are another way. You extend the warranty. So you get 10 years warranty. You get extended warranty for 3 more years, and you are able to survive in the market for a longer period. Then, another method or measure to extend product life cycle is that you add some, kind of change the way the products are consumed, or change the, the product users pattern, so that people will start using. For example, Gmail. So, for example, your uh, space, Google Drive, which is given to you free of cost, so on and so forth. So you change with Gmail you get Google Drive now, which were not there. So you change the way people perceive your product. Then one more strategy we can talk about is that reposition. One we talked about co-branding. So all these are strategies. Repositioning is one strategy through which companies, again, reposition themselves in order to extend product life cycle. This reminds me of one very good example of Bonvita. Bonvita, is now not facing, not at a particular period of time. Some time back, Bonvita was feeling that there are, reduction in sales. Almost, I think, few years back, they realized that the sales are not picking up, and they were started fearing that we will lose our share against Complan, Horlicks, Boost, and few other brands of milk supplementary powder. So when they fear or thought that we will lose the fight, with Complan, with Horlicks, with Boost, with like what other milk supplementary products are available which are doing good in market. So they realized and they repositioned, and they did what? They added one concept of DHA. Now, what is this DHA? Bonvita is nothing. It is just a sugar coated with chocolate. But they said that it is DHA. DHA is something which will help extract the calcium from the milk. So if your kid will add Bonvita into milk, the DHA in Bonvita will help kids to extract calcium and provide that calcium in a better way to the bones of your kids for further development. And they repositioned it with the promotion campaigns of a mother, alone helping the kid to grow, to become stronger, so on and so forth. And with this emotional campaign and DHA concept, they repositioned their product and were able to survive and extend their product life cycle, and they are enjoying it in the market. So the idea is that you can reposition it. So many ways we have talked about, I think 8 or 9 ways or measures we have talked about, that how the products, their products and their life cycle can be extended by companies. So far we have talked about, one is that what is product life cycle, second is why it is important, third is how different marketing mix changes in different stages, and why am I like we need to understand these stages, and then fourth is that how or what measures a company can take to extend the product life cycle and how it can be done. So these are the 4 5 things we have talked about product life cycle. So far, the product life cycle topic is covered, completed. Uh, if you have any doubts, let me check the chat once. If you have any doubt, just write in the chat. I will, just send it through the chat so that I can see it, I can read it. But I cannot see any question. There is no question in the chat. It means you don't have any doubts, which happens in most of the classes. So whatever, I think it's good if you don't have doubt. Then another topic which we need to talk about or discuss today is the product mix. So when we talk about product mix, now what is this product mix? We know that there is a marketing mix wherein we talk about 4 P's, 7 P's, so on and so forth. So what is this product mix now? As we have a promotion mix, I don't know why this screen, sorry for inconvenience, is coming again and again in front of me. I don't know what you people can see, but I can see sorry for inconvenience. So whatever. So the idea is, so the idea is that, sorry. So product mix is basically a mix of, product. So when we say mix of product means what? Mix of product means that, uh, you know, the product portfolio which a company possesses or which a company has is called as product mix. It means what are the different categories of product we have, what are the different, types of, products variants we have in the product categories, so on so forth. So what is this product mix? Basically, this product mix is about the different categories of product. There are four components of product mix. One is the product length or product line. One of the same thing. You take it as product length or take it as product line. In few books you will find it as length. In few books you will find it as product lines. So one of the same thing. Second is product, width. So product line is different categories of product. That what are the different categories of product? So we call them product lines. Then we have what? We have product width. Product width is, from left to right. What is the width of our product? Next, we'll talk about it. Don't worry. And then we have product depth. Product depth means the number of variants we possess in each product. Then we have, consistency, which is relatedness with each other. So product mix is again, why companies need to understand the product mix, why we need to talk about product mix as a, marketer. The idea is that why we need to talk about product mix is that if as a company we will not understand our own product portfolio, how we would be able to take decisions. So not only product life cycle we need to understand as a marketer, I need to clearly understand the product mix. Otherwise, it will lead to product cannibalization. Now, what is product cannibalization? Product cannibalization means that one of my product will eat the other product. So the one product will eat the sales of another product is called cannibalization. For example, why automobile companies, come up with different variants, and why not, one variant uh, takes the sales, yeah, takes on the sales of another variant. Maruti Suzuki is making so many variants of cars, but every variant is doing, good. Every variant has its own customer base. If a person is buying Swift, then he will buy Swift only. He will not go to buy WagonR. If a person will buy WagonR, he will buy WagonR. He will not buy, Alto, so on and so forth. Again, Alto has been stopped. A new version of Alto company is planning. Many versions have already been launched, but the earlier initial version was the only successful version. So why? I mean, like there is no eating of sales, by one, variant of by one variant to others. There is no eating of sales. There's no cannibalization because the differentiation is very clear. The one who is going to buy, Maruti Swift Desire will buy Swift Desire. The one who will buy Shias will buy Shias only, so on and so forth. So the clear-cut distinction, differentiation has been made between the product lines, between different variants, between different products. Otherwise, one will eat the sales of others. Another example, HUL, a highly aggressive company. Now, HUL has got one product line which is called as detergent. It has got three detergents. One Surf Excel, again owned by HUL. Another Ren, and third Wheel. The one who is going to buy Wheel will not buy Ren and Surf Excel. The one who will buy Surf Excel will not buy Wheel for sure. As an individual, I be buy all three for different purposes, but the purposes are clearly distinct. I buy Wheel for washing the floors. बालकनी का बेड़ा धुलवाना है तो मैं व्हील फेना डाल दूंगा, चलो कोई बात नहीं, निरमा डाल दूंगा. My perception as an individual, I may be wrong, but this is what I feel. I feel कि ये डिटर्जेंट से मैं कपड़े नहीं धोऊंगा, बट हाँ मेरे कामों के लिए हो जाएंगे. सीढ़ियाँ धुलवानी है, ये सब कामों के लिए काम यूज हो जाएगा. So I am the same customer buying all three. Then I'll buy for those products which are डस्टिंग के प्रोडक्ट हैं, मेरे घर के रग्स मैट्स धुलने हैं मशीन में, उन सब में ये काम आ जाएगा. एंड सर्फ एक्सेल में बाय करूंगा कि मुझे अपने खुद के कपड़े जो धोने हैं, वो उसमें भी अलग अलग ब्रांड्स, different category they have made. Surf Excel Blue, again they have tried to penetrate the market of common man. Then they have Surf Excel Matic, so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to tell you that, but all the variants have clear differentiation marks. That's why there is no cannibalization of product. So how a company will be able to differentiate these products and will have this clear-cut distinction and marks between the products only when the company will understand the product mix better. Otherwise, companies would not be able to survive. Companies would not be able to stop the cannibalization. So that's why product mix is very important for a company, for a marketer to understand. So now, what is a product mix? I am sure that you must be clear with the importance of product mix for a marketer. So now, the what is product mix now? So in order to avoid cannibalization, it is clear, I am sure to all, that in order to avoid cannibalization and clear-cut distinction, companies understand their own product mix and maintain a very effective product mix strategy. So product mix has got four components. One is that product line or product length. For example, HUL. HUL is a FMCG company and a company through which we can understand this example very well. So HUL has got different product lines. One product line is their hair and care. One product line is cosmetics. One product line is food and beverages. One product line is detergent. One product line is soap. One product line is shampoos. So though they have hair and care, but again they have made a separate product line for shampoos and conditioners, so on so forth. Then they have different categories. They have a category of ice creams. Quality Walls is owned by FMC, the company HUL. So Quality Walls is a brand of HUL only. So they have a different product lines. Product lines means different category of products. So each category represents one line, or we can say vice versa, that each line represents one category of products, so that it can be clear cut, distinguishes, or it can be clear cut, distinguished from the other lines. So there are different lines. So I think I may be wrong. You have to check online. The current lines, earlier they used to have 21 product lines. I'm not sure about today that whether they have 21 product lines or they have made 24 or 20. That you have to check on their website, but they used to have 21 product lines. Right. Then, if we talk about, product after product lines, then second component is product uh, width. So product width is from left to right. So when I say product width, means that whatever different brands as a company I possess or I have or I own in each product line, would be my product width. For example, in detergent, I have 3 Surf Excel, Wheel, and Rin. So 3 would be the width of that product line. I have, 5 shampoos. For example, I have, Tresemme. I have, you know, by the name of, I mean, like there are a lot of, brands of shampoo. Let's say 10 different shampoos. HUL has 10 different brands of shampoos. HUL possesses the product line of shampoo. So 10 would be the width of, shampoo line, which would be the width of that particular line. For example, if in toothpaste, they have toothpaste also one line. So in toothpaste, if they have 10 different brands, under toothpaste line, then 10 would be the width of toothpaste. So for example, 10 toothpaste, 10 shampoos, 3 detergent, 20 soaps. So how many I have counted? 10, 10, 20, and 323 and 2043. So far if I talk about, I have talked about 4 lines by HUL and 23 product width. So if I only consider these 4 lines, and let's take a hypothetical example that HUL has got only these 4 lines and 44 different brands owned under different 4 lines, then it means the total product lines HUL possess is 4. If I ask about what is the product width, then product width would be 43 under these 4 lines. Then when we talk about product depth would be all the variants under these brands. For example, I said that Surf Excel, Wheel, and Rin, 3 brands company possess. So 3 is the width. Product line is the detergent. But if I say that company has got different variants under these 3 brands. For example, I said Surf Excel Blue, Surf Excel Matic, Surf Excel Front Load, Surf Excel Top Load. So 4 variants I have counted under the name of Surf Excel. In Rin Shakti, and Rin Supreme. So for example, I have given you in Rin under the brand name Rin. And then let's say Wheel has got 2, 3, maybe jasmine, rose, and your lime. So different fragrances only they have added. The powder remains the same, but again 3 would be counted as the depth. And now what is there in variant that we need to understand? Is the variant only is as per the names, different names within the brand? No. Variant consists of many things. Number one, variant consists of the brand extensions. For example, Surf Excel Matic is a brand extension of Surf Excel. Surf Excel Blue is a brand extension of Surf Excel. Surf Excel Top Load, Front Load is an extension of brand Surf Excel. Then Rin Shakti and Rin Supreme. Supreme and Shakti are the brand extensions of Rin. So one is in the variants. When I say variants, what all you need to count? One is that it talks about all the brand extensions under the brand. Second is that it talks about the sizes. So for example, 10 different shampoo brands in shampoo line. So shampoo line is a line, one line which has got 10 brands, which is the width of that shampoo line. Then that 10 shampoos have different, packing size, starting from rupee 1, 2, 3, 5, sachets, to bottle size of 50 ml, 75 ml, 100 ml, 200 ml, 500 ml, 1 liter, so on and so forth. So if they have 10 sizes under 10 different shampoos, So it makes it 100 variants. So 10 shampoo brands, and every shampoo brand has got 10 different sizes. So 100 variants. So it means two things we have talked about variants. One, the brand extensions. Second, different sizes. Third, even if it has got different fragrances, even if it has got different design, again design and fragrances would be part of variant. So four things in variant. One is brand extension, second is again your the brand extension, then second is your what we were talking about. Second is one is brand extension, second is size, third is your design, fourth is even fragrances, taste. If taste is there, the product is of taste, fragrances, even colors will make it a different variant. Pink, red, green, three colors with the same brand name in same size, three colors will make three different variants. Then form, toothpaste and tooth powder, liquid soap and solid soap. So even form is changing, making it different. So when I talk about toothpaste, in toothpaste if it has got paste as well as powder, both powder will also count as one form, one variant. So all these things again, I'm like repeating. One is your brand extension as a variant. Another is your size, different sizes. Another is your design, fragrance, flavors, even colors. Then you have form. So seven, eight things which will be considered in variants. So all variants will be counted one. I will be counted as one. All different variants. I mean, like every variant will be counted as one separate variant, and all variants combinedly, make the depth of that particular product line, and depth of all the product lines will combinedly make the entire depth of the product mix. So if HUL has 21 product lines, so product lengths and lines would be 21. If under 21 product lines, total number of brands they own is, let's say, 200, then 200 would be the product width. If in those 200 brands they all together have 1000 variants available, then 1000 would be the depth of HUL. And then what is consistency? Fourth component. The consistency is basically means that what is the degree of relation or degree of relatedness between two products of two different lines. For example, how the product is, how a shampoo is related with soap, how a oil is related with the shampoo, what is the degree of relation, so on so forth. So degree of relation means whether the diversification is related or unrelated. In the related diversification, the consistency would be highest or more, and in unrelated diversification, the consistency would not be there. If it would be there, then consistency would be, you know, uh, consistency would be either it would not be there, entirely, or would be very less. So when I say consistency means, I take you two, three examples. So all the FMCG companies, if you see, there is a high degree of consistency in their diversification. So their diversification, it remains in the same industry, in the same sector. So HUL products are all related. For you, as a consumer, I may not be aware, but using 20 different brands of HUL in your daily life. So in same household, so many brands you are using of one company. Procter and Gamble, maybe you are using 10 different brands of Procter and Gamble daily in your life, starting from morning to evening, so on and so forth. So it means it is related. The same consumer is consuming. The market is same. The segment is same. The distribution channel will remain same. The same distribution channel will provide you soap, will provide you pickles, will provide you sauce, will provide you biscuits, snacks, will provide you toothpaste, will provide you shampoo, so on and so forth. So the degree of relatedness is very high. It has got its own advantage. You don't need to establish different distribution channels. You don't need to spend on multiple plants. You don't need to maintain multiple warehouses. You don't need to operate different products as strategic business units, so on and so forth. So it gives you kind of a standardization benefits. So these are the advantages of related diversification. Then when we talk about unrelated diversification, so companies like Reliance, ITC, Tata, you know so on and so forth. These are the companies which are into unrelated diversification. So their diversification is completely different. At one point we talked about this yesterday also in the new product development when we talked about these examples. So you all know that what kind of diversified products they sell altogether. ITC is selling cigarettes into hotel industry, into your classmate products, stationery products, into Sunfeast biscuits, into golf and sports accessories, into sports by the name of ITC Wells, so on and so forth. So, so they have this, unrelated diversification. They are conglomerates. So when they have unrelated diversification, it means what? It means that they their consistency is least. Their products are not related with each other and they cannot be sold through the same distribution channel or market. Their segments are different for different products. Their marketing strategies would be altogether different for different product lines, so on and so forth. So no consistency between these products. So this is about product mix. That why product mix is important. What is product mix? Product mix is basically the complete portfolio of your products as a company, as an enterprise, as a firm. So what all products you own are classified into different product lines. Then they have different product depth, then consistency, and then width also. So product lines, width, depth, and then consistency. So so in the product mix, companies keep on changing. Then there is no generalized rule that product, if shampoo would be there, oil would be there, then hair and care would be the category. No, it depends on company. If company has multiple brands, big number of brands, if company has more brands in the same product category, they can divide it and they can make two separate product lines. Even for toothpaste, they can make two separate product lines. That one would be medicinal toothpaste maybe, which are for sensitive tooth or sensitive teeth, or maybe which are for sensitive gums, which are for cavity, so on and so forth. Another would be for freshness. Again, depends entirely on company. There is no fixed rule or generalized rule that how the distribution of the product lines would be made between the same category of products. So entirely depends on company, and this varies as per company to company. The same product, Procter and Gamble must be keeping in another product line, as it is different in Patanjali, as it is different in Nestle, as it is different in HUL, so on and so forth. So the point is that there is no generalized rule that what product will be classified as what. It depends on to the company only, up to the company only. So, so far, what we have talked about is we have talked about, the product life cycle. Then we have talked about importance of product life cycle for the marketers. Then we have talked about, these marketing strategies and product life cycle. Then we have talked about the measures which are to be taken by the companies to extend the product life cycle. And then we have talked about product mix. Then what is product mix? We have talked about why product mix is important to clearly distinguish the product and eliminate the product cannibalization. Then we talked about, or we have covered in today's class, the components of product mix, that what are the various components of product mix. So for today's class, these are the topics which I was thinking to cover. We have covered all these topics. Now we have time wherein we can take the questions. So if you have any kind of questions, let me check question and Q&A. In Q&A, again, एक तो ये जो लोग anonymous नाम से आते हैं ना बेटा, ये अपने नाम से लॉग इन किया करो. It gives good impression, you know, not to me but to all, and it gives good impression of your well-being also, your character, your mindset also, that you want to enter as anonymous or you want to enter as with your name. Your identity is very important. So whosoever he or she is writing that, sir, please share PDF of stages of developing new product. It is already the stages of developing new product. I'll share that. Okay, perfectly fine. It is not there on the portal, but the portal which is here on like the website of the department has got your NCOM semester 2, tab, in which you will get all the notes by me. So you can get all marketing notes from there. So I'll share PDF, not a problem. Then I don't know, somebody has written yes sir. Maybe I don't know for what yes sir. Maybe I must have asked something in the class as I do. Then Bhavna is writing, good afternoon sir. The students are not able to get the live telecast. This was at 3:15, so maybe that must have been resolved by over time, over for a period of time. Then we are not getting any audio video again. In the beginning it was there. Then somebody is writing that in which stage Patanjali exists. Patanjali products are into growth. If you see, so all the products have been launched in the market and picked up very well. So Patanjali is growing in the market, and every year, year on year, if you see YOY, returns, YOY returns of Patanjali is increasing, and they are increasing multifold. So they are being into operation is just 3-4 years back, and they are doing wonderful because again the acceptance of Baba Ramdev, the way he penetrated the market as a big entrepreneur, we all can see that. Then Sushantika is writing, this question of Patanjali was asked by Komal. Then Sushantika is writing, sir, can warranty come in additional services? Warranty and guarantee are not part of services because that is an integral part of product. When we go to buy product, first thing we ask product. There are product layers. We'll talk about these product layers in tomorrow's class. So we will talk about guarantee and warranty as an integral part of product. Product is not complete without packaging, and product is not complete without warranty. So warranty or guarantee are separate from the additional services. Additional services are something which are given in addition to the product or in addition to the warranties and guarantees. Like I talked about the Chevrolet 3 year warranty, like I talked about the Skoda pay buy today pay after 2 years, so on so forth. Then Simran is asking, does repositioning mean changing image of the product in the minds of consumers? Yes, repositioning most of the times is about changing changing the image of the product in the minds of the consumer. As I talked about the Bonvita case, Bonvita, no DHA was there in Bonvita, but today Bonvita has DHA. So again, they reposition themselves against Horlicks, Complan, so on and so forth. So repositioning is changing image of the product in most of the cases. Then again, some anonymous is writing, in which stage Patanjali exists. I have already answered this question. Patanjali तो कनेक्शन लॉस्ट होगा बार बार. होल्ड ऑन, क्यों होल्ड ऑन बस. So there was a technical glitch in the connection just now. So let me repeat, sir. Kindly repeat product width, length, and depth once again. Meha is asking. Product width, depth, length. Once again, I think we have just talked about it in detail. I think I am sure your question must be answered already because it's four. At that time it was 4:30, and I was talking about it. So product width is length and line is the different categories of product. Product width is the different numbers of brand a company owns under different product lines, and depth is all the variants, be it size, form, be it flavor, taste, be it fragrance, color, be it shape, design, whatever. So all the variants would be part of depth. Then Neha again has written, sorry, I'm just reading it as I got it. And Simran wrote, what is brand extension? Brand extension is, uh, 5 star and 5 star plus, Born Vita and Born Vita plus. So brand extension is with the same brand. We are introducing a new product or maybe, a better version of the existing product with some extension added to the product name. So that's why it is called as a brand extension. Like for example, Born Vita is Born Vita, but there was another brand which Born Vita launched with Born Vita Plus. So which was more chocolatey, which was which had a taste of dark chocolate. So people like dark chocolate. There is a segment which like dark chocolates which are a bit bitter. So they launched Bonvita Plus for that. Though it is not very popular, it is only sold to a limited segment. Even the company in between stopped the production of Bonvita Plus. Then same way 5 star, they introduced the 5 star Plus. Cadbury company, the same company. You know, so these are the basically brand extensions. So it means making some extension with the brand name. Then Sheetal is asking, is a product line a component of product mix? Obviously, Sheetal, we talked about it. Product line and length, one of the same thing, means a particular category. So shampoos is a product line. Shampoo is a product line or product length is one of the same thing. Then again, I think Sheetal is only writing it. Why product life cycle is important? Can you tell once? Thank you. Maggie is still in growth stage. No, Maggie is not in growth stage. And why product life cycle is important, I told in the very beginning. I think either you have joined late or there must be some connection problems. Product life cycle is important because marketing mix strategies would be different in all stages. So every stage will have a different marketing mix strategy. That's why it is important to understand product life cycle. Maggie is still in growth stage. A good question. You know, so she has asked a very good question. In fact, because she has asked, so I would be able to talk about it. Otherwise, I would not have touched upon it because it would not have, came in my mind. Because it did not come in my mind, or obviously it is something, beyond the topic we are going. Not beyond the topic, but obviously it is an kind of an extension of the topic. So it's a very good question. So if I today see the Parle-G biscuit, if today I see Maggie as a noodle, are they exception to the product life cycle? Will they ever end? Crackjack biscuit. We used to eat crackjack biscuit in our childhood. Today also we are seeing the same crackjack biscuit with the same flavor, almost same kind of a packing. Though they changed packing twice or thrice, but same biscuit, Parle-G, same packing. Even the packing is not changed from last decades. Though there was the baby, which you will find, the baby girl, which has shown on the Parle-G pack. I don't know whether she is alive or not. She was very old few years back. There was an interview, not that kind of video interview, but there was a written interview in one of the magazine few years back. So very old lady, I mean like Nani Vanchuki old lady. So what I am trying to tell you, the same packing. So is the Parle-G biscuit or Maggie, are they these products are exception to the product life cycle? They are not in growth, but they are picking up the sales. The Maggie has got increased sales. Parle-G biscuit is the most selling biscuit in the world. The most selling biscuit in the world. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these products are exceptional. Why? Why these products are exceptional to the product life cycle? Number one, these are the products which are used for what? This is a product. These are the products which are used for which need? Maslow need hierarchy you have studied. And Maslow need hierarchy, the first need is what? First need is physiological need. So need of hunger is physiological. So physiological means that it will never satisfy. So it will reoccur after a certain period of time. So if you eat today, what happens? When you eat today, ultimately, you see that you get, hungry again. Maybe after 4 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours after a day, depending on individual capacity of fasting. Otherwise, you get hungry after 3, 4, 5 hours. So this is something which is an eatable product, which is something which is a routinized item. There's something which is, which we are addicted on our taste buds, So because our own taste buds are addicted to these products. That's why, we see that these are the product which are exception to the product life cycle. I don't know who has unmuted the, microphone, but there is some sound at the background. So a good question that Maggie is still in growth stage. The question was bit different because you think that it is picking up sales. That's why you are feeling that is it in growth stage, but no, it is not in growth stage, but it is in maturity because product is already known to the people, but they pick up sales, because these are the products which are exception to the product life cycle. Then Ritika is writing that example of company in declining stage. बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल दिए तो मैं डिक्लाइनिंग स्टेज के एग्जाम्पल you know you see around yourself, use your brain a bit, you will find many products which are into decline means that further sales are not increasing, so and even they are dipping down, and many products, once they move into decline, they move very fast into withdrawal. They don't remain for a longer period in with decline. Decline is the shortest phase of any product in product life cycle. So declining stage, products are, if you see many products are declining, I'm not able to, if you see around yourself, for example, I said, the uh, if you see today, even your MP3 players are on in decline mode. MP3 players are no people are buying today, right? You are using apps directly. Your cell phone, handheld phone is into, like everything. It is the device which can do anything for you. Almost, many things, not anything or everything, but at least many things, this handheld device can do for you. Connect to the world. So our decline is MP3 players, our example of decline. So many products you will find just need to see with open eyes. Then Sonali is writing, sir, what is the main focus of companies in growth stage? In growth stage, the focus of companies, remains on two things. One is the promotion, and one is the place that they promote the product well so that it would be known to the world, known to the masses and potential customers, and they provide the product to all so that it can be reached to all the people. Then again, Anonymous is writing that if there is hair and care line, so shampoo and conditioner and others are the product width or they are product line only. I told you, boss, if shampoo and conditioner is hair and care is a line, so shampoo and conditioner would be the part of hair and care is not mandatory. It depends on company to company. Though we understand that shampoos and hairs are used to, used for hairs only, and it's a product for hair only. But again, it depends on company. Even in shampoos, company can have two different product lines. So it is entirely company's decision. But if they have, two varied shampoos, so again, they can have two separate lines. So Indulekha is a brand owned by HUL, which is a medicated shampoo, medicated oil. So that is part of hair and care. Neither that shampoo or oil is part of oil or shampoo differently, but a part of hair and care. So again, it depends on company. Company has to decide their marketing, portfolio marketing. Sorry, their product mix portfolio. Then Nataraj is in declining stage. Nataraj is, if he's talking about Nataraj pencils, Nataraj sharpeners, maybe. Yes, because you can see DOMs are doing good. You can see, other brands are doing good. Earlier, we used to have a very good advertisement that, a cartoon character advertisement wherein a kid is playing with the bat and the wickets are of Nataraj pencil. Three Nataraj pencils are at the back. And then, we used to enjoy that advertisement. So Nataraj is not promoting much. So maybe in decline stage, we can say yes, it is in decline stage. Or maybe they have diversified their business, focusing less on this business, whatsoever may be the reason. So I think, thank you very much for, bearing with me with patience and being a wonderful, audience as always. And thanks for the questions. I can see the quality of questions, show the involvement of the students, that how carefully they are listening to every word I am saying, on screen, and then, putting their thoughts across. So thanks for putting your thoughts and queries across. Any doubts, you can connect me anytime. We have class tomorrow also. Tomorrow, we will be talking about marketing mix. We will be talking about product layers and maybe one or more topics. So we'll see how much we would be able to cover in tomorrow's class. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Jitesh, you can disconnect them and then maybe you and me can talk for a minute.